difficult and challenging because it's something you spoke about earlier as to being such a big part of your life, an important part of your life. But recently, there's been so many conversations and comments directly from J.K. Rowling, whether it's her saying she'd never forgive you for your views, or the fact that when she was asked what ruins the movies for her, she named yourself and some of your co-stars. And
What's up, YouTube? Today we are covering how, well, the issue between Emma Watson and J.K. Rowling. Now, in case you guys weren't already aware of this, what's been going on with this subject is that Emma Watson, an actress who starred as Hermione Granger in the Harry Potter films, has essentially put J.K. Rowling in, well, the exact same position that the average Western man has been put in, which is J.K. Rowling gave Emma Watson literally everything, the exact same way men gave everything to Western women, and has expressed zero to no gratitude. So, let's get into it.
that's an extremely difficult thing when you've been a part of someone's world, when you've felt connected to their work, and then for it now to kind of be a full 180, and for someone to publicly say these things that can be quite, or extremely hurtful, actually. How do you think about that?
I really don't believe that by having had that experience and holding the love and support and views that I have mean that I can't and don't treasure Joe and the person that I had personal experiences with. I will never believe that one negates the other, and that my experience of that person I don't get to keep and cherish. To come back to our earlier thing, I just don't think these things are either or. I think it's my deepest wish that I hope people who don't agree with my opinion will love me, and I hope I can keep loving people who I don't necessarily share the same opinion with.
Well, actually, Emma Watson, you didn't love or appreciate any real care for J.K. Rowling. Because we all know that this whole entire experience was over a disagreement. J.K. Rowling about, you know, transgenders. When J.K. Rowling said that, like, hey, if you don't have, like, that, how was a good way to say this? Oh, J.K. Rowling made very clear that, hey, just because you got a sex change operation doesn't necessarily mean you're a biological woman. And when she made that comment, you and your co-stars pretty much turned on her. Just like that. Now, if I was in your position, Emma Watson, I would just make it perfectly clear that I don't really care about something like that. Not because I have anything against transgenders, but because, hey, I'll just say that when I take a good look of what, if J.K. Rowling really did all that stuff for me, if she did, I would just say it's going to take a lot more than a disagreement to convince me to completely turn on her. It would. So why exactly are you acting all innocent, Emma Watson? Why? When you know you were the aggressor. You do know that.
That's a very, very important way for me that I need to be able to move through life. I just really, I guess to circle back around, I really do believe in having conversations, and that those are really important, and that I don't know. I guess where I've landed is it's not so much what we say or what we believe, but very often how we say it that's really important. And that's really frustrating and not what you want to hear when you're really angry and upset with someone. But I don't know. I just see this world right now where we seem to be giving permission for this kind of like throwing out of people, or that people are disposable. And I just think I will always think that's wrong. I just believe that no one's disposable.
Mm.
You didn't believe that when you literally decided to throw out J.K. Rowling, despite everything she did for you. Let's face it, Emma Watson, J.K. Rowling gave you everything. If it weren't for her, no one would even know your name. Anyways, it doesn't really surprise me that Emma Watson here is, because she's a feminist, she's not taking any responsibility for her behavior. It really doesn't. Because that's one of the biggest lessons the feminist movement likes to teach their fellow women, which is there's no need for you to take responsibility for your personal behavior, because all you need to do to find a guy who take that responsibility for you on your behalf is cry victim. And as you can clearly see, that was Emma Watson's goal with this interview. You can tell that because the man literally gave Emma Watson an opportunity to express some actual real humility here and just say, hey, I made a mistake. I overreacted and I apologize for this. However, as you can clearly see, instead of even entertaining that, she throws it out entirely and does the exact same thing that so many Western men have been expressing complaints about for so long, which is she basically cries victim and points fingers at someone, in this case J.K. Rowling, for something that she herself literally did. Exactly. And then plays amnesia, well, undiagnosed amnesia, to any wrongdoing. Just as you can clearly see here. Typical feminist tactic. It really is.
Everyone, as far as possible, whatever the conversation is, should and can be treated with, at the very least, dignity and respect.
Mm. Thank you for challenging us and pushing us. Yeah, it takes a lot to, I think that's what we're all being challenged to do, is try and hold two truths at once. And
yes,
those two truths don't have to be complementary, but they can stand at the same time. Yeah.
I think the thing I'm most upset about is that a conversation was never made possible.
So you remain open for that dialogue.
Yeah, and I always will. I believe in that. I believe in that completely. I believe in that completely. I just don't. Yeah, I just don't want to say anything that like continues to weaponize a really like toxic debate and conversation, which is maybe why I don't. Well, it is why I don't comment or like continue to comment.
Yeah.
Not because I don't care about her or about the issue, but because I just, the way that the conversation is being had feels really painful to me. And so that's why that decision.
Yeah. I really appreciate that mindset, and deeply feel like if people are challenged to go there themselves, like it takes a lot to think that way and feel that way.
Yes.
But it's what it's what healing really requires across, around the world. And I can't imagine how many young people who look up to you and people who look up to you will feel the same.
Okay, yeah, I will admit that J.K. Rowling pretty much needs healing from what Emma Watson did. She does, but I'll be honest with you, if anything, I think what really needs to happen is Emma Watson needs to really self-reflect. Because as you notice here in this conversation, it sounds really sympathetic. It really does. But Emma Watson is not taking any responsibility for her or her behavior in the entire situation. Like she says she wants a conversation to be made. She does. Like she's openly saying that she's open for a conversation. But notice how while she's saying this, she's not taking any responsibility for any of her involvement. She's just plain victim. So it doesn't matter which way you look at this. If J.K. Rowling does go talk to Emma Watson right now, it will be a trap. She'll be setting herself up for gaslighting and just a one-sided conversation, which is why so many men like myself have also decided to become passport bros. Because let's face it, there's no point. We already know you can't have a productive conversation with women like this. A productive conversation means both sides are willing to take responsibility for their involvement in the incident. And right now, that's not going to happen. It really is not.
To recognize that that's how we engage, that's what we look for. It's not that we're trying to make everything pretty and perfect.
No.
It's that we're willing to engage in an uncomfortable conversation.
Yes. Her kindness and words of encouragement and that steadfastness, and also, honestly, just as a young woman, for her to have written that character, created that world, given me an opportunity, which, to be honest, barely exists in the history of English literature. How can I? There's just no world in which I could ever cancel her out or cancel that out for anything. It has to remain true. It is true. And this is where this holding of these, I just don't know what else to do other than hold these two seemingly incompatible things together at the same time.
You did cancel her out, Emma Watson, over a disagreement on transgenders. You did. And here's something you can do. You could literally just publicly say, hey, I overreacted. I was wrong, and I apologize. Short, sweet, simple. That's all you gotta do. But you can't even do that because that requires you to take responsibility for your behavior. And as a feminist, you just can't do this. Which means, guess what, everybody? This means J.K. Rowling, writer of the Harry Potter series, and Passport Bros are now officially on the exact same page. Oh my god, this is not happening. This is so not happening. Emma Watson gave Passport Bros Harry Potter support. Emma Watson gave Passport Bros Harry Potter support. Oh my god! Man, you cannot make this stuff up, people. Woo! But yeah, all the seriousness, this is a good thing for Passport Bros. And yeah, I can definitely see Emma Watson's fear on this because, I'm pretty sure it doesn't take much for us to figure out the kind of reaction she's going to be getting for costing the feminist movement what could only be seen as a very valuable asset. Yeah.
Hope maybe they will one day resolve or co-join themselves and maybe accept that they never will, but that they can both still be true. and I can love her. I can know she loved me. I can be grateful to her. I can know the things that she said are true. And that can be this whole other thing. And my job feels like to just hold all of it. But the bigger thing is just what she's done will never be taken away from me.
Thanks for saying such a powerful example.
Thank you.
Your job, Emma Watson, as an actress is to act. I bet you're pretty good at it, but if you take a very close look and analyze everything you say, like you just cut out the sympathetic sound and the nice sounding stuff and just really analyze what you're saying, Emma Watson, we can actually figure out what it is you are trying to pull here. Like, we can't. All you gotta do is just block out the nice sounding stuff and really analyze the details of what you're saying. And we can figure it out. Like, we can.
Yeah, that beautiful F. Scott Fitzgerald quote that the sign of a first-rate intelligence is the ability to hold two opposing ideas at the same time and still retain the ability to function. And he goes on to say, one should therefore be able to see that the world is hopeless, but still be determined to make it otherwise. And it's like, that's
F.
it.
Scott Fitzgerald said that.
F. Scott
Wow,
Fitzgerald.
he ran deeper than I knew.
Yeah, it's F. Scott
Wow, that's
and no one ever
incredible.
quotes that second part. Like,
That's incredible.
yeah, it's one of my favorites.
Wow, well done you for remembering that second part. Wow, you've made me like Fitzgerald a lot. I mean, I liked him. Don't get me wrong. Like,
to me, it's one of my favorite
that's
ideas.
so good.
Yeah, it's so good.
That's so good.
Yeah, Emma, for someone who has tried to stay out of the public eye,
yeah,
you've still been vocal about causes you believe in, things that you stand for.
Yes,
and that always seems to get attention and reaction.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you shared online your solidarity for Palestine, the former Israeli UN ambassador, Danny Danon, called you an anti-Semite, and his tweet said, 10 points from Gryffindor for being an anti-Semite. What goes through your mind when you see that?
This happened a few years ago now.
Yeah.
I think what concerned me at the time was the way that label was being used. And I think even now, I see that playing out.
Okay, I don't want to get too much into politics. For me, it's not really about politics, but here's another quote I think that could have prevented this whole thing. You can disagree with somebody, but you still have to respect them. Disagreeing with someone is no excuse for disrespect. It really isn't. And the reason why is because nothing gets done if you can't work together. Yeah. Anyways, that's all I got time for this one. Talk to you guys later.